I did, yeah.
I couldn't
Actually,
get into it. I don't know why.
yeah, I didn't mind it. Like, I could see why some people didn't like it, but like for me, I enjoyed it. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
something that.
Oh, let's see. We're getting ready. Oh, he has me on stall. He's tricking me here. Oh, there it goes. Okay. What up, everybody? It's your girl Melissa. Woo woo, y'all! It is Friday. It is fabulous, and your girl is over here in a sweater when it's like 80 degrees outside because I can never get my days right, y'all. I like on the winter days I'm wearing a tank top, and then the summer days your girl's crazy over here in a sweater. So, welcome to Friday, y'all. I'm so excited because I have an amazing guest with me today. Super excited to share his talent, who he is with y'all. So, can you do me a favor? Go hit that like button, hit that share button, and it's not just because we want you to hit like and share, it's because of the Facebook algorithm. And so when you hit that like button and you hit that share button, it shares it with everyone else so that they're able to join in on this live. So all of you who always want to share with your friends and everything, when you do that, it reaches a larger audience. So go ahead and right now hit that like button, hit that share button, and we're going to get this show on the road. So welcome, friend. Welcome, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Thank you to all the listeners that are tuned in. Y'all are amazing. Thank you.
Yes, and so I'm gonna turn over the spotlight to you because y'all, I don't know if you know this, but our guest today is actually a Colorado. I want to say Colorado native because he was born and raised here in Colorado. Yes.
Yep.
So I'm gonna let him share a little bit about himself, who he is with you, so you can get to know who he is. And I'm gonna turn the spotlight over to you.
All right.
Like, hold on, wait, what?
I know, right? With camera, lights, action, right?
Ready, go.
Hey, originally from a small little town in Colorado called Ordway. Grew up listening to Tejano music, very heavily influenced by the genre, by the culture. Through my dad. My dad was a drummer inside of a band in the Arkansas Valley, I believe Rocky Ford. They were called Los Jalapenos. He was a drummer for them. So, me and my twin brother grew up listening to Tejano music. We were exposed at a very young age to the genre, to the culture, and it's just something that, just clinged on to us, and we couldn't let go of it. Growing up, I listened to other genres, and the only thing that could really truly speak to me, to my heart, was the Tejano music. So it's something that I decided it's something I want to pursue, whether it be as a musician or an artist. And it just so happens I became an artist. I'm a singer, so a lot of the people around me pushed me to sing and to put myself out there as like the face, of the band or whatever I was doing at the moment. And the brand Emmanuel J came along. Uh, it's been great. It's been a great ride. Started playing music professionally, I guess, at the age of 14, 15, something like that. And just kept on doing it, Me and my brother, we played in bands in Pueblo, Colorado for a little while. And about 4 years ago, we decided to make the big move. We decided to move out here to San Antonio to pursue our dream in Tejano music. Movie stars, you want to become a movie star, you go to Hollywood, you go out there and you sacrifice everything, and boom, right? You want to be a country star, you go to Nashville, et cetera, et cetera. So Tejano music, we came here to the capital of the world in San Antonio. So we've been here for a little while, and it's been great. I don't know.
Yeah, no, go ahead. We're listening to you. And so that's awesome. Okay, we have to say something here because at first, it was like, are we seeing double of you? And so now the secret's out, y'all. For all your questions, he has a twin. Okay, he does have a twin.
And what makes it worse is that he just got glasses like maybe a couple months ago, and so now when he's playing, people think he's me, and I'm just like, Come on.
So here's the thing: do you guys ever like switch as each other? You know, when you want to get out of something.
We've done that once. If we were, I think I want to say it was like fifth grade. We swapped classes just to see if we can get away with it, and I think it lasted like a good 5 minutes before they got onto it, and you know. We didn't get in trouble or anything, but it was just one of those like moments, like we did it.
Yeah, I think that always would be like fun to like know how that goes. My brother and my sister are twins, but obviously boy and girl, so they can't do it and get away with it.
It'd be a little bit harder.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit harder. They'll be like, "What happened? What's going on?" And so, you know, you grew up here in Colorado. You got into music, and so your family got you into music, and then, so how did that all start? Like, was was it like a Selena moment? You know, we were just talking about Selena earlier before the live, so that you guys know. Was it like, let's start up our band and let's be here and we're good?
So, you know, growing up, we were always like, we played on like pots and pans and making noises out of our mouths and stuff, and you know, we were very fortunate growing up that our parents were able to bless us, you know, with musical equipment. And so, but the thing was is that we basically learned what we learned on our own. You know, we didn't really have too much help on the outside. Not very many resources in Colorado, you know, for what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So me and my brother had to learn by ear. You know, everything that we learned was just by listening to it and trying to mimic it. And then as we got older, you know, the internet became a bigger deal. You were able to watch videos on YouTube, and we learned from YouTube, you know, musicians on there that would talk about music or chords and, you know, all these different things. And one thing that I was really into when I was younger was music production. So I studied a lot in that field of the music by just watching YouTube videos and reading a couple of books, you know, in regards to, you know, the music production side of it. And so me and my brother, we started recording at a very young age, you know, and sometimes I listen to like those old records that we did record, you know, on little cassette tapes, and I'm like, wow, what were we thinking?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it just shows like the progress, you know, listening to that, and then what I'm able to do now. It's crazy what self-education can do for you, you know. You know, like I didn't go to college for music production. I didn't go to college for music, you know, at all. And so to be able to be in the position where I am, it's a blessing, you know. God really gave us a gift, you know, here. And I think I was 14 years old, and my uncle, who was also in the band that my dad was in, he approached me with an opportunity to open for the band on a Christmas dance, Valentine's Day dance that they were putting on. And he came up to me and said, "Hey, get a band together. We want you guys to open up." And I'm like, I don't even know who to get. Like, there's no kids out here that want to play Tejano music, you know. They're too interested in sports, or, you know, if it's in music, they're listening to hip hop, you know, pop music at the time. There was no like Tejano musicians out there, you know. So I had to do some digging. I had to find some people that would want to play in a band, and then kind of mold them a little bit into what we want to do. That was probably one of the hardest moments, was just getting started, you know. And we were able to do it. You know, my dad helped out a lot. My uncles, they helped out a lot, you know, trying to figure out who we can get for this dance, and we made it happen, you know. That very first moment being on stage in front of the microphone, I was playing accordion at the same time. It was just a moment that I decided right then and there, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to perform for people, you know, I want to play music, and this is where I want to be. So I stuck to it.
Yeah, and how does that feel? Because I always want to know, like, I know that's probably strange, but I always want to know, like, that moment, you know, when you hit the stage, like, that first time, and, like, you just know that you know, like, could you even describe that in words of, like, how that feels?
I don't know if I can, honestly. I try. I mean, it's just one of those. It's one of those feelings you don't know that it's real until your nerves calm down a little bit, And I mean, for the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 years of me doing it, I would get nervous to the point where like I need to go use the restroom.
Yeah.
I just need to I don't know, do that, and then I'd be okay, and I still get up back on stage, and I'm still kind of nervous. Like, you've been pulled over by the cops before, right?
Yeah.
Just plenty. Your legs get warm, you're just
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. But
your heart starts beating and you get that tingle, please, hopefully he didn't catch me on his, little gun.
So it's kind of like that in a way, and then it goes away, and you start to see more clearly, and you start to read the audience a little bit more, and you can tell they're enjoying it, And so then that's just a big relief, because the fear goes away of I hope we don't mess up, or I hope that they're gonna like it, And when you see that they are liking it, then you're like, okay, we're doing good, we're doing all right. Just keep it going,
Yeah.
You just you learn to move past it. Being out here, for a little while and playing the big stages that I've played, it's gone away. It's more of my confidence just got a lot better, So as soon as I know it's go time, I hit that stage and I'm there with presence now. And it's amazing. I love that feeling.
Yes, and that's so amazing. And from there, like you said, I think that's so funny because when I found out you were from Colorado, I was like, it's so, not that it's funny, but it was like, oh, now I know why you went to Texas, because really Colorado doesn't really have a Tejano mix, Tejano people who are interested in Tejano music and that. I mean, maybe more so now, but back in the day, not so much. And so, and it's so funny because it's like you said, people were out there either in sports or whatever, so trying to find someone to be like, hey, do you want to come play this instrument or come do this, And so going through all of that and growing up in that, who were the people that you looked up to in Tejano music and, just music in general, of who inspired you to want to keep going and doing more?
Honestly, it would probably be my brother, my twin brother. He, I feel like he believed that I wanted to do it so much that he wouldn't let me stop doing it.
So good.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I've never really thought about that until you asked me this question. I have to think about it, I'm I honestly feel like it was because he didn't allow me to stop is the reason why I kept going, I kept doing it, Obviously I had the love for the music, I had the passion to do it, but it comes to a point sometimes where you're like, why are you doing it? It's because there was times where, we weren't getting a whole lot of support, or it seemed like, this is just as far as we're going to be able to go, we can't continue to grow. And, that's why I said, moving out here to San Antonio, where it's happening, there's a lot more resources. It very much helped me be where I am today, and I think my brother has probably been one of the biggest influences. Of course, we would come visit out here, for the Hanabi Sports Fanfare, and we'd see all the artists and bands, performing on stage, and all the people that were loving it, and we're like, man, I want this so bad, and it was just something we kept our eyes on.
Yeah.
And eventually, we knew at some point that would be us, we just had to stay focused. Another person that, I really never thought of being an influence until now, that I would say he's a pretty big influence, is he's also from Colorado. His name is Joaquin Cura.
Okay.
He's from Fort Collins, Colorado, and he moved out here, I don't know, 2015, 14, something like that, and he became the lead vocalist for David Legarza, Los Musicales, and then he left them, he started doing his own thing, and then now he's playing guitar for Joe Lopez y Grupo Más. So I mean, he's been doing a very good job, for himself. But I think growing up, seeing him on stage and performing, because he's a little bit older than me. So I would see him doing the big stages in front of big crowds, and especially at fanfare. It was something that I always like, man, I want to be there, I want to be where at, So it was just, those kind of influences like that, kind of staying focused and making sure that I just continue with it.
Yeah, and that's so amazing, because even like what I really like about that is about your brother. Because, sometimes it's like all the different people, right, that we look up to, or all the different things. And I love how you said that. Like, he just continued to push you and made you not want to give up. And one thing that we talk about a lot here on Ignite, anyway, is community, and having that community that pushes you and grows you and helps you with whatever dream that you have. And so I love that you brought that up about your brother, because, it's those people that are in our corner who really help push us and, like, help us not want to give up, and help us not, just fall by the wayside when things are not happening, like trusting the process and really having that faith to push us to keep going.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, so your brother pushed you, we have and then we're going to get Fort Collins in here. Well, he's out there with you too, in San Antonio. But, okay, so then you're moving on along in your career, and you played with some bands. And so let's get to the amazing stuff, y'all, because in 2018, right, was your solo debut album. And so your solo debut album with Palabras de Amor. I'm so horrible in Spanish, guys. Excuse my Spanish, okay. Yo te entiendo, pero mi habla es muy mala. And so tell us about how that came to be, how that came up, how everything happened, because that has to be such an amazing feeling and achievement to have, your what you've been working for, your debut album, and it coming out.
Yeah, the build up for that, it was difficult. When I first moved out here, I was playing with a band. They go by the name of Lades. I was playing accordion for them, and there's a producer out here in San Antonio, very well recognized. He's won, X amount of Grammys for producing and stuff. And he was playing guitar with us here at a show. And after the show, I see in my inbox saying, when are we going to record or something like that. He had mentioned something about recording, and then he told me to call him. So I called him and I said, hey, like, what's going on, And so he invited me over to the studio, and we talked. He gave me all the business, whatever, and came down to a deal, an agreement for a full album. And I was like, man, like, it's a great opportunity, but, I can't really afford what you're asking for, and I understand why you're asking it. You have every right, but I'm not in a position right now to afford that. I just moved here. And so we worked out another agreement, another deal, and he really, really helped me out big time, and produced this album that, really, I guess, launched my artist career, and it was during the COVID quarantine time, and it was hard because I wanted to release an album, sooner the better. I wanted to get it out before, like, all this COVID stuff happened. Like, we didn't know it was going to happen, but I knew, like, I wanted to release the album months before.
Yeah.
But in a way, it kind of worked out, because during the quarantine, no artists were doing anything, no new songs were really coming out, no albums were being released. So a lot of the work in the music industry just came to a standstill. And I was like, dude, I feel like this is the perfect time to release something for a new artist, because once I release it, it's going to be a buzz. People are going to start talking about, like, dude, like, this guy released this, like, an album during the quarantine, COVID, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, work. But the thing is, like, with publicity, is there's no such thing as bad publicity, So whether if somebody was talking bad about it, it still worked out to my favor, because they're still talking about it, and other people started talking about it. And before I know it, like, I'm getting a bunch of inboxes, messages, like, hey, what can get a CD? Like, we want hard copies. And I had to order, like, 2 shipments of CDs to ship out to people and get it all over. And it honestly ended up being a real big success for me. And yeah, it was awesome. I just wanted to give new music for people to listen to while they're stuck at home, and
Yeah.
it's a really awesome thing for us. So.
And that's super exciting because, like you said, during quarantine and during COVID, it's like everybody was like out of their minds, right? Sitting at home, like, what are we doing? Let's check this. And of course, like, nothing new is coming out. But there's certain people as yourself that was like, oh, this is the perfect, and it was the perfect opportunity to release it and be able to have that new music, that new buzz. And so I totally believe it worked in your favor, and there was someone on your side. Come on. And that's such an amazing thing. And so during COVID, during that process, at first, like you said, you thought it was a bummer, but it actually worked to your advantage. And so what things did you learn coming out of COVID with that new album release? And what made you like go further? What pushed you further? What things, what are all the pros and cons of what happened during COVID?
Well, for me, because the album went so well, and I believe I want to say I released that in May, so it was like the beginning of the year type of thing, and it sustained throughout like July, August time, or whatever. And during that time, me and my brother were already working on like a side project for ourselves. We did it was a series of medleys that was paying homage to the artists that we grew up listening to, that influenced us in our music, et cetera, et cetera. And because of our initial launch with the Palabras de Amor album, I feel like it helped promote this side project that we were doing. As an artist, for me, like I believe in originality, original songs, original compositions. Cover songs are good and they're great, for people that it works for. But for me, like I don't know if it'll work for me because I'm so heavily set on being original. Me and my brother, we record our own music, we arrange it. I write music, so it's something that I want to implement into my craft. So doing this medley thing, all these cover songs that we're pushing out, I was scared for myself because I didn't know if it was gonna, be a hit or miss,
Yeah.
And I had some guys helping me out with the album, other guest musicians that came in and did their thing, and then a good friend of mine out in Pueblo, Colorado, Tony Gonzalez, he did the mastering for the album for the medleys there, and man, it ended up being a success as well. I released the first medley, the J Pettis medley, on Facebook Live. I think I did it on Facebook Live, and people started sharing that, and they started connecting. Okay, so this Emmanuel J, he just released this album in May, and now he's already releasing another one at the end of this year. Whenever it was, and so it put in people's mind that I have this work ethic that I'm gonna stay here. I want to be in this industry. I'm not just one of those people that releases an album and goes ghost, or releases a few singles, goes ghost. Because there's been so many of those in this industry that I feel like some new artists aren't taken very seriously because of that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to definitely make an impact. Get my name, my face well known, and let people know like I'm here. I'm trying to be the next best thing, in this industry,
Well, he's here and he ain't going nowhere. Come on, somebody.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely more of a pros than any cons that I can really think of, because, I mean, in that album, Regalo de Dios won me a music award, the Hana Mundial award, so I was able to take that, and it was Song of the Year for Regalo de Dios, and so it's been successful for me.
Yes, and even out of all that, speaking of accolades, come on, somebody, this man right here just received Best New Male Artist for Tejano Music Awards at the Tejano Music Awards there in San Antonio. It was in San Antonio, right?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay, I'm really bad. Side note, we're going to get distracted here really quick. But, I live in Erie, so if you're from Colorado, Erie's like a small little town up north. So you go straight and everything's considered Denver. Even though everything's not Denver, everything's considered Denver to me. So when I look at Texas, everything's just considered Texas to me. So I had to just double make sure it wasn't San Antonio.
Yeah. Yep.
And so tell us about your award, because you just got presented with this not too long ago, about a week ago. And a half ago, yes. And so congratulations, that is huge, and super excited for you, and I can't even imagine what you're feeling, how it went, so I'm gonna let you describe it.
Well, honestly, so I think the award show was aired on television back in December, I want to say, maybe it was.
I think it was back in November, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so I had to wait, a little while to get the award. But that night, I was actually out of town and I was gigging. I was on stage, and I remember seeing my phone. I was trying to watch it, online, and I missed it. And I didn't get to see it. But when I had looked at my phone, I was getting messages and calls and all this stuff. And automatically, I'm thinking, better look next year, don't worry about it, it's okay, don't worry. And when I saw these messages, congratulations, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually won, It wasn't because I was not confident in myself or whatever, but the people that I was running up against, I felt like they were solid artists, that I had good competition, so I didn't expect to win, I was hoping I was going to win, but at the same time, I'm trying to be realistic here.
Yeah.
But, so I had to wait for a little while, but as soon as they gave me the award on stage last Friday, the feeling just came back again, that whole rush, the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know what to say at first. You're supposed to give you your speech and everything, and I'm over here rambling, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. But yeah, I actually have it here. It's still in its box. I don't really have room to put it right now. We're going to be moving here in, I don't know, a couple months, so I didn't want to pull it out and have to put it back in just to move it. So I'm just going to leave it inside the box, keep it safe for now, But it's beautiful. It's an awesome accolade. It's wonderful to be credited, for all the long hours, the hard work that we put into, Emmanuel J. But at the end of the day, it's just an accolade. It's just an award. My goal is just to continue to push out great music for the listeners, continue to do what I do in this industry, and just try to make an impact.
Yes, well, you are definitely making a huge impact, and let me tell you, your music is awesome. I've been sharing it. We've been playing it here. And, I haven't heard nothing bad, all good reviews, as it should be. And if there was any bad, I didn't hear nothing, because they know not to come with me with that. Yeah, it's like, all right. But, amazing stuff. And you just released a new album this year in February called Numero Dos. So tell us a little bit about that project and how it came out to be.
Okay, yeah. So this album, it took a lot longer than what I wanted personally. But the reason for that is because a couple years ago, I had an opportunity to, I was signed with Q Productions. With people that don't know, it's Selena's dad's record label. So I was working close with the Quintanilla family, but I ended up getting out of that contract, that whole situation, because they weren't meeting the deadlines that I was expecting, and also I wasn't very happy with where I was at. I felt like I was tossed in the back burner, and kind of just put on hold for a little while. So I'm like, man, I really want to get this thing going. They weren't doing it for me, so I just asked them if they could just release me, and thank you, Abraham, for letting me go and allow me to do what I want to do. And so that's what kind of set back the Numero Dos project. And as soon as I was released, me and my brother just started working. this project means a lot to me because it was the first project that we really did as just me and my brother. Like, you know, I reached out to another producer for one song, and then I reached out to three other songwriters. But other than that, like everything it's done in house. The mastering was done by Tony Gonzalez out of Pueblo, Colorado, and I had the pleasure of mixing the whole album, and so that was just something that means a lot to me because of the feedback that I got.
Yeah.
During the process of recording, and the mixing and the mastering, all that stuff, I was afraid that it wasn't going to be accepted because a lot of people out here, they solely believe that you need to go with these certain individuals to make it. You need to pay these guys because they know what they're doing, or whatever the case may be. But for me, I feel like, well, those guys were where I am at some point in their life. They were just starting, and then they had to earn their name. So why is it that I can't do the same? And at the end of my whole career, when I'm done being the artist, manage A, et cetera, I actually want to be inside of a studio just mixing and making music for people. That's I get a lot of joy from that. So I feel like this was a start to that, and it kind of builds up my portfolio, in a way to be able to be like, hey man, like this is what I do, this is the kind of sound that I produce. If you're interested, blah blah blah. But when we released it, automatically it was just positive reviews from what I've heard. I haven't heard any of the negative stuff yet.
Don't worry, it's not there.
Yeah. The only thing that I get, a little bit of, I wouldn't even call it negative feedback or anything, it's just goofiness, is the cover photo. It's very intimate, very, sexy in a way, I guess, and people don't see that anymore, but
they don't want their pan dulce, what?
Right? Right? Yeah. But I think a lot of people forget that, like, Gary Hobbs did it back in the 80s. Ram Herrera, he did it as well. And even worse, the dude was sitting naked in a tub, you know what I mean, on his cover. And I'm like, oh my God. So I've done a couple of shirts down, put my hair up, and it's like, oh my God.
They're like, adios, mia.
Right, yeah, And so I just, I wanted to do it to kind of make a statement, that there's no barriers, there's no formula that you need to do. There's no formula that you need, to do to be successful or to make a name for yourself or whatever. Like, there shouldn't be. As long as you're making great music, as long as you're creating a buzz, that's all that should really matter to me. And I feel like I make great music. I haven't really heard otherwise. And so I'm going to continue to do my formula, and hopefully, people just kind of accept it for the way it is, and that's it.
I love that you say that because, we live in this, like, social media world, as you know, right? And a lot of the times, like, everyone just sees the highlight reels. They don't see the tears, the long nights. They don't see the people that come in and out of your life, the heartaches, like all this stuff inside the process, right? And so allowing yourself to just be you, and you saying, like, the formula that works for you. And so I love that you say that because, like, even in your industry, you don't have to follow everybody to be successful. You don't have to do it a certain way to be successful. And I just wanted to highlight that because a lot of you are, a lot of people who listen on here, I notice, are a lot of entrepreneurs. A lot of people on Ignite that tune in are a lot of people who are either in their own business, looking to, whatever it is, being an artist, being a journalist, whatever your goal is. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here, and I love that you said that because it's like you gotta do your own formula. Like, it's good to look at the people who led the way, right? and those people who brought the path before us, and that we're able to look at them for wisdom and, you know, the way that we need to go. But that you got to work for you. Like, there will never be another this person, just like there will never be another you. So you got to be authentically you and work in your formula. So I love that you said that, of just the formula that works for you. And so I just wanted to reiterate that, because I think that's so important and such great advice for those of you that are listening out there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so, you know, Risky with your cover album, right?
Yep.
So he says, I don't, you know, come on, ladies, we know. Just like the men know, the ladies know, okay? Let's just be real.
Right, yeah. Let's just be
Yeah, let's just be real, come on, you know, and maybe, you know, there's some new things coming out here in San Antonio. Come on, guys, those of who are our Texas listeners, because as you know, here on KUHS Denver, the stream, we are not just local, but we are global, all over the world. So we have tons of people who are tuned in right now from Colorado. What's up, of course? We got Florida in the house. We have New Mexico in the house. Come on. Texas in the house. We have Michigan in the house, and a whole bunch more. So thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. And so those of you who live in Texas, but also those of you who are wanderlust, love to travel, love to go do things, you can go see this man right here, because there's something coming up. So I'm going to let you share that.
Yeah, that's right. In San Antonio, they're holding the big fiesta, you know, in April here. We will be performing Monday, April 4th at 7 p.m. I want to say it's at Market Square under the bridge. So I don't know if it costs. I think it's free. I honestly don't know. But
if it costs, y'all, it's not going to cost a lot. Get in there. Go spend a day. Go see this man right here. Come on, get you a CD, get you some merch, and he's got some new merch out too. So
I do. Yes, I got hats, koozies, shirts, whatever you guys want. You know, and if you guys want something customized, just be sure to hit me up directly in Facebook or go to my website, www.emmanuelj.com. Shoot me a message. Let me know what you want. You know, we can make it and send it out or whatever. So anywhere. So just wherever you're at.
Wherever you're at. And y'all my ladies out there, come on, you know us and our bling. All right, he just dropped a new bling merch. So those of you better get out there summertime with your bling earrings, your bling shirt representing. So come on, you better get those before they're sold out.
Yeah, limited on those ones. Those ones are limited for now. You know, we just kind of did a test run to see how they're doing. They're selling pretty quickly, so.
Yes, so the limited edition, if you missed out, if y'all are sleeping out there, I'm just saying, your girl told you right here on Ignite to get over there and get it, so.
I heard.
I got witnesses, come on. We got Nicholas Molina, thank you, God bless you too, there in San Antonio, Texas. So don't forget to hit up Fiesta, come on.
Yeah. It's popping out there.
Yes, and so, you know, what new things are you looking forward to, new things that you have in the future that are for Emmanuel J? Can you tell us anything about that?
So right now, I guess I'm trying to fill up the calendar a little bit, you know, with some gigs, and also just kind of continue to push the new album. You know, it released in February, so I still got a lot of time to continue to promote it and just get it out there and get it to where the numbers should be, getting the radio stations to play it on rotation, et cetera, et cetera. But right now, I'm honestly already looking at songs to put on the third album. So I want to say maybe in 2 months or so, we're going to start hitting the studio and start, you know, brainstorming on what we can do with these songs that we have and what should go, what should stay, you know. So it's exciting, yeah, just going to continue to do it, you know. We're here to stay.
Yes, they are here to stay. And so, you know, I want to ask a few questions for you. So these are my, like, you know, hey questions. So one of the questions I want to ask is, you know, there's always people who inspire us. You talked about your brother earlier in the show, so for those of you that are just joining in. But, you know, what is something that someone has told you either in the music industry, maybe even your brother, or just someone who has encouraged you and said a word, spoke a word to you that just has always stuck with you, that, you know, moved you forward, and that you would want to share with the audience that maybe it might impact them just as much as it impacted you?
That's a very good question. You're making me think very deeply. You know, the amazing thing is, I try to surround myself with like-minded people. You know, people that are positive and also encouraging. You know, I feel like it's very, very important to have. But I also keep my circle kind of, you know, tiny. You know, I don't, you know, expand out too much or whatever. So the people that are close to me, you know, they just tell me to keep going. You know, not everyone. What is it? Not everyone likes peaches. You know? So the meaning to that is, you could be the juiciest, tastiest, most perfect peach in the pile here, you know, but not everyone's going to pick you up because they don't like peaches. You know, so just because, you know, people are hating on you, or just because they're, you know, they have something negative to say, you know, whether it's about the music or the art, you know, the colorful, whatever it is, you know, like, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you know, that's just their taste, you know, and you're not catering to just them. You have a whole broad
like a broad audience, yeah.
Well, yeah, a broad audience, you know, to cater to, and I feel like that I'm on a positive path, you know, with what I do. So, and because I have such a great support system backing me up, and you know, it's just like I said, you know, my brother, he doesn't allow me to quit, you know, so easily. Even though there's a lot of times, you know, I'm like, man, like I don't know if I want to continue to do it, you know. It's just, it can be very hard for a new artist, especially trying to find like new musicians, you know, to you know, take some sacrifices with us, because the sad thing is a lot of promoters or, you know, event coordinators, they don't like to take a big risk on newer artists because of the, I guess, the little bit of following, you know. They don't know if they're going to be able to pack a place, you know, and so they don't want to pay you as much or what you feel that you deserve. But when that happens, then I have to dig into my pocket to, you know, pay out these band members, whatever, because I'm not going to tell these guys, hey, you know, they didn't pay us what we were wanting, so here's $50. No, I'm not. But to me, it's because you know, before I was an artist, I was a musician, so I understand that part. You know, I didn't want my musicians to feel like I don't value them or that I don't respect them. So they're going to be the people I take care of first, because if you have a happy band, they're going to stay with you. They're going to stay loyal. You don't have that issue, you know. But it is hard that way because, you know, I'm not the richest guy in the world, but we're gonna get there someday, you know. I promise that.
You're gonna get there. He's gonna get there. Come on, I'm gonna be on your brother's side and keep telling you, send you little memos here and there. Like, don't do it.
But I mean, like I said, I'm here to stay. I'm not gonna quit, you know. And I have a positive team around me that just continues to encourage me, encourage my brother as well, you know. So we're just out here doing it.
Yes, and that's so amazing, and I love that, you know, and the value of your band members and the value of the people around you, because you don't see that a lot, you know. I've been in this industry, I do photography, I've been in the industry a long time, so as far as taking pictures and being part of events and everything, and it's hard and it's rare. It's a rare breed you are, that you value your musicians, you know, and a lot of people don't value them, you know. Like you said, it's like, oh, well, here you go, and here's this, and so it's nice to see that authenticity and just, you know, that very genuineness of like, I'm gonna take care of them because you do see value in them, and you know, they're what helps make you, you know, and so I love to see that.
Yeah, definitely, you know. I feel like without my brother, there wouldn't be an Emmanuel J, you know, as far as like recording, putting music out there, making the image, you know, everything. But without the band, there would be no Emmanuel J performances, you know. So that's why I feel like I have to take care of, you know, a lot of people and make sure that they're very, very happy, you know, with being with me, you know. So.
Well, if you guys are ever out here in Colorado, we'll take care of you. Your girl loves to eat, so y'all be eating, okay? know that. You'll definitely be eating. You won't go starving out here.
You're talking about food, and I just want to say to the New Mexico listeners, Pueblo Chili's where it's at. Sorry.
Oh, we got a war out here. Pueblo chili, and what other chili? Do we know that chili's name? I ain't going there. I don't know. Should I go there? We do got a lot of New Mexico listeners on here too, so we're gonna see it. We're gonna hear about it in the DMs, going down the DMs after this. And so, I don't want to put you on the spot, but maybe if you want to sing a little snippet since you got your keyboard there.
I would, but it's not on.
Oh, see, he did that on purpose. No.
I should have turned it on. I didn't thought it. Dang. Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys are just gonna have to listen to the albums. I got a couple of live stuff. Ooh, you know what? I have a live video of the fanfare performance. I'm actually gonna chop it up and post videos every now and then. So stay tuned. You can definitely hear one of those things there. But as far as right now, I'm sorry.
Next time. All right. So if he's ever in Colorado, y'all are my witnesses. We're going to get him in the studio, and he's going to sing a live for you, okay? A live little snippet.
That would probably be even better. So.
You'll hear him live. And so, as you guys know, we will always connect you with our artists. We'll connect you to all the pages so you can get connected, know where events are, where they're happening, where you can get merch, also where you could download music, which I know probably on Apple Music, Spotify, all of the above.
Yeah.
And so we'll connect that in the live when this is over. As you guys know, I always put all the links up above so you can get connected where they're at and what they're doing. And so, before we head out today, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to talk about on the show before we head out?
Not really. Yeah, I can't really think of much. We covered the Honor Music Awards fanfare, me accepting the Honor Music Award. We talked about both albums. Where you guys can contact me on Facebook. I do have Instagram and Snapchat, TikTok, all that stuff, and then also my website, www.emmanuelj.com. I do want to give a couple of shout outs too.
Yes, do it.
Big Brown Apparel out there, doing their thing in Colorado. So thank you, James Mora, and everybody that does merchandise. He did my first batch of Emmanuel J merchandise, and then also he sends us out shirts like this, to just wear, So thank you all, for all the love and support out there in Colorado. All the fans out in Colorado, my hometown, everybody, my family, and as well as all you listeners that are listening in right now from all over the world. Shout out to all you guys, for taking time out of your guys' day, for tuning in with us and just having a good time.
Yes, so we thank you so much, and I thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us and letting getting new fans out here and new listeners that are onto you and onto your music and being able to hear you for the first time. And so those of you that have been on here know we're playing the music, and so you can hear it. You've also know on Ignite, we've been sharing it, the Spotify links, so you can listen, and you can also just go there yourselves to Emmanuel J Music. And so thank you so much for being on here. I am excited for what the future has for you. I know you're going to do amazing and you're going to do great. And, I see more awards in your future. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. And so thank you guys, as always, for tuning in and hanging out with us, whether it's in your car, whether you're at your job, sneaking it in, come on, watching live here on the social media platforms and also on KUHSdenver.com. We thank you guys, as always. Without you, our fans, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, so we love and appreciate every single one of you. Also, I want to remind you today, before we head out, if no one has told you, I want to let you know that you have purpose, you are loved, and you belong. So, Emmanuel J here, your boy. Come on, go check out his new album, Número Dos, that's out now. And your girl here on Ignite, signing out on KUHSdenver.com. Love, peace, and God bless y'all.